Today I am going to chew some gum and do my nails and just do a little ramble, a little old-fashioned ASMR gum chewing ramble, soft-spoken, as I do my nails. So kind of like a get ready with me, but nails. So before we get started, I'm going to pop some of this extra classic bubble. Take a little sip of water. We'll do the channel maintenance. If you're new here, welcome to my nonsense. If you're old here, welcome back, OGs. If you're new here, please consider hitting subscribe. If you're old here, go double check, make sure you're subscribed. Hit the like if you like, leave a comment. It can be anything related to the video. It could just be a hello, a few emojis, whatever, as long as it's cool, respectful. Hit the notification bell, and as always, I will link my tip jars in the description box. No pressure whatsoever, but it's there. Every $1, every $2 is greatly appreciated. That's what allows me to continue to make content. Follow me over on Insta. Same name over there. That is where you can request customs as well. And I post pictures, or I'll post like when I uploaded something. It's just some extra nonsense. Also, I'm on TikTok, just net nonsense. So I'm just filing down, like buffing my nails, like so. The brand of the set I'm about to use is called Jofe Fashion. You can get these. They're sturdy. This is my like third set of these. There are some on Amazon for $3.99 a pack. I typically wear my nails for about a week. So for $3.99, well, you know, you got the glue and stuff too, but for $3.99, which is like $4.20 something, or I don't know, under $5, you know. So I just like buff at my nails to kind of get them grippy. You want them to be grippy, and you don't want any extra glue from like the last time on there. So I just lightly buff them. Kind of push my cuticle back with this too. Like that. I should clip my cuticles, but that's gonna have to wait until next time. I feel like my cuticles have been growing a little fast lately. What's up with that? So anyways, I should tell you guys about a couple weird encounters that I've had. Right? Want to hear it? Okay. So, as you know, I'm like in job limbo right now. And one of my friends said, oh, look up the plasma packages around you. Some of them pay really good your first month, like your new member package. I haven't donated plasma in like 20 years. Anyways, I did. We had a good deal around here. So I was like, oh, sign me up. I got good veins, right? I'll save that whole story, like that part of the story, about my full experience for Patreon. But I will tell you guys about the awkward situation that I had to bear witness to. It's not even a big deal, but whatever. Or is it? So, I have my appointment. I get there on time. And I'm at the front desk just trying to check in. I don't know what I'm doing because I've never been to this place. I get after all this crap, which is in my Patreon, I finally get checked in. Then they make you go sit in another room. It's just a room right off to the front for, I don't know what they use it for, just for the newest people, because if you're already signed up, you just go straight to the computer. So I guess this is just for brand new people. So I go in there, there's already one woman in there. There was like maybe 2 people in there besides me. I don't remember. Wasn't paying attention like that. And then a young girl walks in. Like young, like early 20s or something. She sits down and we're all kind of just sitting there, minding our own business. And then in comes the guy that checked me in, which was like a young dude, maybe mid-20s. Weird personality right from the start. But whatever, that's not what I'm there for. Not there for that. Don't care. So he walks up to the young girl that had just checked in. And he's like, oh yeah, hi, how you doing? And she's like, good, thank you. So they're both a little cheesy. That's fine. I don't know what's going on over here. And he's like, yeah, I just wanted to let you know, like, you gotta be either 10 minutes early or 10 minutes late. Like, that's their rules. Now I want you to picture, like, he's in a lab coat, so he's supposed to look and act pretty labby and official, right? And she's like, oh, okay. And I'm trying to gauge, like, if she's like that or if she's just uncomfortable or what, as I'm trying to also mind my own business. I'm just split. It's right in front of me, literally right in front of me. Like, and he just keeps talking to her, and he's like, oh, what's that on your shirt? And she must have had like a college on her shirt. And she said, oh, that's where I went to school, or where I'm going to school or something. And he's like, oh, really? What are you going to school for? And I'm like, isn't this guy supposed to be in the other room checking people in? It's getting weird. And because he's the front desk dude. He's the one that takes your ID, social security card, and info. And she's like, I'm going to school for this. She said, like, business admin, I think. And he's like, oh, okay. So, like, are you going to be in HR? Which, I mean, I suppose if you went to school for business admin, you could do HR, but, like, that's a pretty specific assumption, you know? It just gave ultimate cheesiness. And I don't feel bad about saying that because the dynamic was weird and the dynamic was off. And she's like, no. And she just kept talking to him a little bit, but she's like giggling, like that weird giggle that women do when they don't know what to say. I've been there myself a couple 100 times. Luckily, I'm old now, so I don't have to do that anymore. Not that anybody has to do that. I've reprogrammed myself. That's what I mean. I'm old and I've reprogrammed myself, and I hope that people can reprogram themselves younger, so men and women alike, you don't get involved in these conversations that you're not interested in having. So now the next thing you have to do after you buff all your nails is, typically you would clean them with like an alcohol pad, but I don't have one, so I'm just gonna use whatever they put in here. This should work. Oh, I kind of like these. I'm gonna hold on to the rest of them. I do have some water, so I'm just gonna use some water and one of these little pads. So anyway, I have my wet little cotton rounds. Anyway, he gets to asking for her phone number and if she's in a relationship. You are up there taking everybody's personal medical information. I don't think you're supposed to come over here and then to come over here and get a phone number or to get rejected while you just took people's addresses and their medical stuff. Like, can you imagine sitting at a doctor's office? Because essentially, it's kind of like what this dynamic is, or this vibe. And you're in the waiting room, and one of the medical staff comes out to hit on you. I was just like, what? I so feel like we are living in Idiocracy, and we are living in the Truman Show. Like, are these tests? What are these? What is going on with humanity? Anywhere at that point, like, he did leave because he got rejected. But he's weird. He's weird. Every time I've been there, because that one day I had to go there several times. I had to go in there and drop off more because I don't know. That's a whole story. He's just off. There's something creeper about that guy. And I know a lot of this is me because I just have an aversion to even small talk. I do. That's why I come on here and just... I have an aversion to small talk. So it already puts me like a little bit off to have to listen to it. I don't know, it just gave me the ick, from the secondhand ick, Okay, so whatever this is, I'm just gonna use it to like really get the oils off of my nails. I feel like that's what it's for. I'm sure there's directions, but I have an aversion towards directions and instructions too. We'll call it PDA. So that was the one weird encounter, and there was something in the air. I'm so glad. If this is all that Mercury retrograde crap, I am adios muchacho. Adios muchacho, because I'm not doing it anymore. That was the worst Mercury retrograde of my life. Alright, so the last day of Mercury retrograde, the day before yesterday, I had to go to the Social Security office because that was another like thing I had to run around and do when the plasma center needed whatever. I had to go to the Social Security office. I'm gonna get out my favorite glue. This is a Fast Bond Dashing Diva Fast Bond. You can get it online at Sally Beauty. I just ordered 3 more tubes because there was like a buy 2 get 1. So I got 3 tubes for like $35. Okay. So I had to go to Social Security office. Nobody wants to do that in the first place. Now I looked like hell. Okay. I was doing some yard work. I had on like a 4XT and some gym shorts. Hair all crazy. Literally looked like I just rolled out of bed. And I only say that to say this, like, it didn't look like I wanted anybody to look at me. Okay? That wasn't the look I was going for. And not that you should have to get looked at no matter how dolled up you get. But it was really evident that I didn't want anybody to look at me that day. We can talk, we can say something, but don't. I wasn't there for that. Who's at the Social Security office to get stared at anyways? But I got like weird random hairs tickling me all the time, and because I'm neurodivergent, I can feel them and they drive me crazy. So I get to the Social Security office and I check in, And there's 4 rows of chairs facing a wall with a TV. And so typically if there's rows of chairs, you don't want to cross in front of people. So like everybody kind of sits on the ends of these rows, right? There was one end open out of the 4 rows. So I had to sit in the same row as a dude that was in the same row as me, but he was on one end. I'm on the other. Let me get my little stick. Gotta have a little stick here. This you can just use to like scrape off any glue bubbles or something. Anything like that. I'm making a mess here, guys. That goes to that. Okay. I'll start with my left pinky. And I just coat my nail with a light layer of glue. And then I take the nail I'm about to use. And the same thing on that, just a light layer of glue. And then kind of set it on there. Get it in position. Make sure it's not crooked, and then you just hold. And you'll see a little glue squirt out the side sometimes. You can see that right there. And that's what this stick is for. Sometimes I need to like wipe a little bit too. So I go sit down by this, not by the dude, okay? Down from this guy. He's younger. Looks like he's in his 20s. He looks pretty military, like the haircut. I mean, you know, sometimes you can get a read. And he, like, you know, when somebody new walks into a waiting room, everybody kind of looks up. That's cool. Like, I give grace. That's cool. Like, what's up, everybody? I don't say that, but like, you know, you do the drill. You do your greeting or whatever it is. Sit down. And he's like, this isn't a flirtatious stare anyways. Like, I'm not trying to be like, oh, he was like trying to flirt. No, this was odd. Almost like trying to punk. Like, that's what he does with his day. Like, he just tries to see. Okay, so he's like staring at me, and I'm like, okay, let me just ignore this for a minute. Maybe he's a little spaced out or something. Set my bag down, like get my phone out, and he's still staring at me. At that point, I'm like, okay, when you meet eye contact with somebody and you twice in a row, then it's like, oh shit, they know I'm staring. Because sometimes I'm in a daze and I'm not paying attention. I'm like, oh my god, sorry. No. Several times I looked up and he was just locked. And not in like a friendly way either, in like an aggressive stare. So I finally take a deep breath and I'm like, and he goes, let's do my other pinky. This bottle, ever since I got this bottle, most of my bottles don't do this, but this one always leaks. It's got like a pressure in it of some sort. Like I won't even be touching it and a bubble will form. So I'm like, okay, that'll be the end of it. Things got a little awkward, but it's over. Silly me. So I'm playing on my phone, wondering how long this office is going to take. You know, 15 minutes go by and they haven't even called anybody. And I'm like, wow, I might be here for a while. They call one person back, and so, you know, when when a name is called, everybody kind of, this is just human nature, everybody kind of like looks up again, like, oh. So that gets his head up again too. I notice he's starting to stare again. I'm like, shit. Like, Nat, you gotta get through this appointment. Like, can you ignore it? I'm like, yes, I can. If he will just tone it down. But he has no plans. So he starts it again. And I'm like checking and he's still doing it. And I'm like, okay. So I'm like, and he does the face again. It's like, okay, I gotta figure something out. There's only one waiting room. So I start looking around. Like, I'm gonna try to solve this problem without violence. And I see in the corner of the room, behind everybody in the corner. So I'd be off in the cut. There would be no need for anybody to even witness me or observe me or anything. So I'm like, I'm gonna go use the bathroom. And then when I come back, I'm gonna go sit in that it was a little table area with a chair in the back. I don't know what it's used for, but nobody was using it. I'm like, okay, go use the bathroom. And then I'm going to snag that little corner area up. And like, I had my little Stalogy with me, so I was like, I can do some planning or whatever. Love minding my own business. That looks like a good spot to do it. So I go use the bathroom. And I did text my husband, like, look, there's a weirdo. Things are getting a little weird. This is what the dude looks like. This is what he's wearing. This is what color his eyes are. This is his height, blah, blah, blah. Just in case something pops off. So I go use the bathroom, come back, and snag that table up in the corner. Which I'm sure he noticed because we're talking about a waiting room of like 6 people, right? But it was fine. Like, I don't care if he knew that. Besides that, I was going over there, like, get out my Stalogy and start planning. And so it's like, oh, maybe she just needs the table, the use of the table. I shouldn't have to monitor, like, what other people are thinking anyways, but so I'm sitting there for a minute, and I'll be damned if this dude doesn't spin his whole body around to start this shit up again. So I know at this point that I have to use words. Maybe this is a guy that needs words. So I said, you're gonna have to stop staring. It's getting real weird. He said, I'm not staring. Why are we talking? You're over there. Your chair faces that way. Why are we talking? Not only that, but I've already made it clear. Like, we've already had a couple nonverbal interactions. And you're just going to look me in the eye, as you have been all appointment or all hour, and say that you haven't been staring. I could draw you. I could give a sketch. I was heated. And I hate confrontation. Which is what gets me into a lot of trouble. And I'm done hating confrontation. Now I'm just going to love it. Because if people are being blatantly rude, they just need to know. And there's this whole school of thought, and I think I've talked about this before, like, oh no, people are crazy now. You shouldn't say anything. You need to run. You need to go home because people are crazy.